Welcome, Scorpio. This is Regina from Pacific Tarot, getting ready to do your new moon in Virgo reading. The new moon's on the 9th or the 2nd of September, and it is focusing in the area of your higher aspirations, your humanitarian ideals, the way that you connect with people over distance, over time. This is necessarily a general reading. The circumstances of each of you is so different. However, if you're interested in a personal reading, there is information in the description box below about the offerings I have. So please take me up on those if it's something you'd be interested in. I also am very grateful to be here, and I'm very much appreciating your presence here today, tonight, whenever this finds you. So let's get started, Scorpio, with your overall energy for this new moon. And I pulled the Justice card. The Justice card is describing your internal effort to balance out energies within yourself of investment and of reward and compensation. This is identifying an experience or experiences where you were treated unfairly. You were perhaps cast out or made to feel less than. You have come to understand that the treatment you received, perhaps for many of you, this was normalized in your family of origin, but you now understand that this is not appropriate, it wasn't fair, and you may, along the way to your empowerment, become an advocate for others like you who have similarly suffered. The beauty of your empowerment is that once you're aware and able to identify the injustice you've experienced, you can not only seek redress, but you are already empowered in calling out this in a way that puts others on notice that you are expecting your due compensation, reward, payback for anything owed to you. And you also are sufficiently evolved to understand that payback externally is not necessarily a match or reflection to the sense that you have of just karma playing out. In other words, you've had to pour into your sense of self-worth, your sense of deserving fair and equal treatment, of deserving of and being worthy of success, happiness, or reward. So this is about a very long-term overall experience of what we sometimes call karma, and at other times we call justice, divine justice, a recognition that even if it isn't obvious, those that have perpetrated crimes or unfair treatment on you or to others are do receive that back at some level, just as you have received some payback as a result of the investment you've made in yourself to understand and to assert your worthiness. In the 10th house, the house of your social identity, the way others see you, the sun is a beautiful contrast to this long-earned struggle to find your balance in the world, perhaps to find your balance in the world now, depending on where you're at. And yet the sun is describing your commitment to being exactly who you are. And this is no doubt a result of this experience of really having to equalize, harmonize, balance out the treatment, rewards, and experiences you've had with your investment, your quantum of effort that you've put in, and your your experience of awareness, revelation, higher consciousness as a result of really understanding that you are talented, you are gifted and unique, and that you are not only deserving of all the love, all the support anyone else uh, uh, can experience in order to thrive, but that your joy and pleasure in the experience of being who you are and bringing your talents forward for display as part of your natural expression is uplifting to others. In the first house, your perspective on the world is one of recognizing that you have come to the completion of a cycle, of a journey. The World card here indicates that there is some measure of reward, recognition, or benefit that you are experiencing as a result of an achievement, something you've accomplished, something you have created. Very much this does not feel like an end, although for many of you this is a reward, a success that has been long fought for, that has ultimately allowed you to become who you are in your pursuit of this achievement. But it's also about recognizing that the skills, some of the reward that you've experienced in the development of skills and talents, in the improvement of your behaviors, your character, is the reward. So that in many ways, this journey has become the reward, has become part of the benefit, part of the recognition. It is the steps you've learned to take, the skills you've grown and developed that have prepared you for a new level of accomplishment and success. For many of you, this journey has been a preparation for greater achievement, one that can be shared uh, through your service to many more people. In the fourth house, your home, your family, your history, your roots. The Four of Cups is describing a practice, a personal, emotional, cultural practice that has helped you to find this balance by aligning yourself every day with things that feel good to you, things that support you, things that recognize you, love you, so that you have cultivated this, perhaps indeed from an environment where there was hostility, abuse, or some kind of oppositional trauma that you experienced. You have instead learned that there is love for you in your experience. There is opportunities for you to grow and nurture those things that reflect your gifts and your highest expression. This has become routine in a way. The practice of this has been somewhat grueling, but it has been so deeply rewarding that there may be an offer or an encounter that would have been the thing that you once believed would make everything wonderful, would be the silver bullet for you, and instead you may be recognizing that this thing you once wanted so deeply is no longer a match for you. And of course, as I always say with the Four of Cups, because you've laid this foundation, this emotional foundation down for yourself, you are aware that you can manifest the match, the thing that will fulfill your expectations, that will stabilize an achievement, an emotional achievement, a foundation of feeling good, of allowing yourself to be celebrated, of honoring the gifts you have. In the seventh house, this is the house of your significant others, the Nine of Cups. Oh, I'm sorry. The Ten of Cups is describing this community that you have built through your intentional partnerships. There's something here that describes your partnerships as truly intentional, coming from a sense of allowing yourself to be chosen in whatever regard that has meaning for you individually. You are recognized that you partner with your community, you partner with your colleagues, your collaborators, your peers, those family members that are truly willing to allow you to be vulnerable, that allow you to fail, never losing sight of the absolute perfection and magnanimousness, magnificence, how about that, of your gifts. So understanding that part of learning and growing, evolving into the service that you provide, whatever that is, has been a part of a cycle in which you stumble, you make errors, you fail occasionally. And the vulnerability to do that and to learn from that is something that you celebrate, and you intentionally partner with those opportunities through your deepest connections. If this reading is resonating for you, Scorpio, please like this video, share this with others, and certainly subscribe to my channel, Pacific Tarot. It is so deeply appreciated. I look forward to staying with you for many years to come, and I definitely need your support to be able to do that. Adversity I pulled. I accept that challenges are the best way to learn. I think that's an interesting summary between this vision of the Ten of Cups here, that your greatest allies, your greatest support lies in those that allow you to fail and, as a consequence, learn. And from the Flora and Fauna of Africa, and I read these because I believe this is my nod to the motherland, our motherland, the red jungle fowl, whose key word is faith. Rise and shine. The past is behind you. Reflect on the lessons you've learned and embrace your bright future. I feel the sun card here. In the first house, the world card is clarified by the Queen of Air in the second house and the Page of Air in the third house. You have the intelligence, certainly, the objectivity, the logical willingness to open up to many ideas, in your curiosity about what you have experienced in your life through your journey. You are busy seeking to extract the lessons you've gained, to find the truth, uh, and how that truth that you know to be right for you is relevant to others, particularly others that you work with. So there's a part of you that has so much going, that is processing so much uh, evolvement, that in many ways there isn't an obvious next step for you. The next step that is less obvious to some but very clear for you is to continue to watch, observe, take notes, remark on, notice uh, the responses to the questions that you're capable of asking. You're prompting those questions from a sincere place of non-judgment, and they revolve around this understanding how your truth is experienced in the lives of others, how your truth shows up differently in the lives of those with whom you work. And for many of you, this does relate back to perhaps a role as an advocate, some kind of adjudication or legal profession or practice that requires you to look dispassionately at and all-sidedly at a situation, at a case, at a client. But this same quality you're able to bring and you highly value in whatever arena you practice. The fourth house in the Four of Cups is clarified by the Messenger of Air and the Eight of Air. Interesting. It's as though your intuition is determining the lessons, the uh, the awareness that is becoming clear, is becoming obvious to you through what feels like a very emotional and exuberant time. But in terms of strategizing your next steps, processing what you are experiencing and have experienced, you are putting yourself in line of many opinions, many ideas, many strategies that you've collected over your experiences, as well as many opportunities to find out about yourself through your curiosity about the experiences of others. This is a fancy way of saying you're more than willing and eager to challenge your own assumptions as you challenge the assumptions of others in a very gentle way, in a way that lets you observe, watch, perhaps record what you see, document what you're seeing in some way, present it to others, advocate for it in some way that helps you to move through this tendency for overanalysis and instead to allow the information you gather, the opportunities for conversation and discussion to be a conduit for your own intuition, where your judgment is relaxed and you see the information you gather, the conversations you have, as more about unlocking the nature of your own revelatory experience, of your own awareness, and how you process that really on a daily basis. This is feeling quite a lot like a writing, something that could inform a creative practice for sure, but a writing, literary, or public speaking practice, absolutely. The Ten of Cups in the seventh house is clarified by the Star card in the eighth house, and the Eight of Earth in the ninth house. I will save that. We're getting to the Eight of Fire next. So until now, there have been few number cards. All the major arcana are, of course, all numbered, as are the cups, the other cups that have shown up. But the 17 here is really echoing the 8 at another level. This is a higher octave of the number 8. The star indicates that your goal in working with others and sharing resources with others is uh, very ideal. It is your North Star, so that the community, your partnerships, the way you understand partnering with your rather intimate cultural community, emotional community, perhaps familial community, inspires um, your vision of communication, togetherness, and has a direct bearing on what you produce. This is also feeling as though this is very much about your creative process and where you find inspiration, where your vision touches back down upon your roots in community. And this is about the way that you take responsibility for your growth, your evolution, for the improvement of your skills, your character, and really the love of your craft, which is something you practice, it feels as though in a large community, in an educational or even a spiritual, a cultural community, that you practice your craft, your business, your service, the creation of whatever products you make, in an environment that invites learning, teaching, and growing. The expansion of consciousness is what you celebrate and what you actually incrementally work towards. The emotional experience, the cultural experience that you surround yourself with is a container for the things that you produce and may be emblematic of what you produce. In the 10th house, the Sun card is clarified by the 8 of Fire in the 11th house and the 5 of Water in the 12th house. The 8 of Fire is describing the speed with which you are interacting with uh, your colleagues, with your larger associations, with those groups of individuals that share your higher goals, share your idealism, share your vision of a greater world. That's the place where people invite you into their projects, that recognize your ability to represent ideas in a very masterful way, a way of inspiring others through your craft, your practice. And it's a time of a lot of invitations, a lot of movement, a lot of joining in. This can even be a kind of activism opportunities where you are collaborating with others to have a large and distinct social impact. This is very exciting and stimulating for you, and this really does support your vision of deep interaction with others. This is where you're sharing vulnerability, you're sharing your desire for stability and security. The way that you invest in yourself and each other is something you recognize is shared at a higher spiritual, even academic or educational level. The 5 of Water in your 12th house is describing this ongoing opportunity for you to process behavior patterns that you recognize have limited your opportunities, your actions, so that your disappointments, your failures are ones that you constantly are extracting information, lessons from, that you are allowing to teach you, allowing you to grow. They're encouraging your growth. I think the Red Fowl card said something about the past is behind you, but you reflect on the lessons you've learned in order to embrace your bright future. The sun, the star, these are two of the most inspirational and illuminating cards in the deck. The sun being very personal about experiencing the joy of your uniqueness. The stars about the larger vision you hold, that you are continually reaching towards, that we may never attain this, but it fills us with hope. And to that end, you are in greater confidence about your ability to manage your own potential, to pursue the things that you know are really right for you. And in connecting with your higher self, you find this reflected in the community, in your partnerships, in all of your relationships. I'm going to finish off this reading, Scorpio, with a yogic path oracle. Sometimes my absolutely favorite part of the reading, from which I hope you've gained some insight, some energy, some new ideas, and I've pulled Pitta. Pitta is the fiery dosha, powerful, strong-willed, and feisty. Fire and water are the two most powerful elements that can create and destroy anything. Together, they create Pitta, which is empowering you today. You're in a determined place in your life. You know what you want, and a fire's been set under your seat to achieve it. You're setting goals for yourself and focused on the task at hand. Perhaps this is the time to emerge as a leader and teach others your strength and wisdom. You are transforming the world with your actions. Just don't lose connection with the water within you. And remember to play. I do think you have that play thing under control, Scorpio, with the Sun card at your midheaven. Thank you so much for this beautiful reading. Until next time, namaste.